Floor is open.
Hi, Coach. Vash Tyhurt with Carolina Blitz. Tall task at hand this week. How do you prepare for a guy like Aaron Rodgers?
Well, that really the issue comes down to us too. So we take care of us first and what we do. And then obviously Aaron does some stuff that, a lot of quarterbacks, the top ones Mahomes doing and guy in Seattle, they just move around and keep themselves alive and make so many plays that are, not really designed. And offensively, when he goes into his movement where he's moving in the pocket and stuff, his receivers do a great job of finding holes and seams. And then along with their offense, they have a great scheme. So when you've got to defend it all, it's tough.
All right, let's go to David Newton for the next question.
Hey, Coach. I know we've been asking a lot about Brian Burns for the last few weeks. He's been having that kind of a season. How important is a guy like that when you're playing Aaron Rodgers, the kind of pressure he applies?
Well, it's really important. Aaron does a great job of stepping up in the pocket, so you got to get in the paint. So we also need our inside guys to play really well this week in the passing game, so the ball gets out to Brian. So, but yeah, Burns plays a big role every week in this league because the quarterback position, everything's generated around that position. So guys like Brian show up big time.
And I'm going back to the home game, I guess you guys had against Atlanta. I was talking to him, and he said that the inside spin move he made, I think in the fourth quarter, to get a sack against Matt Ryan. He really said he didn't have confidence in that before. What have you seen there as where he's gained confidence to use a move like that?
Well, I think he wasn't really allowed to spin. And so Mike's done a great job, and Frank, our coaches, with allowing him to spin. And with his quickness and ability to manipulate his body, he needs that move, especially to counter back inside. So he's starting to get more comfortable with, all the counters off his initial moves. So, it's fun to see.
Explain that he wasn't allowed to spin. They didn't want him to spin last year? Or?
No, some guys don't like to spin as a counter, right? But so, Brian really was reluctant to do it early in the season, and now he's really feeling comfortable with it. So it's fun to watch his progress.
Let's go to Elena Getzenberg and then Stacey Dales.
Hey, Phil, I was curious, how do you kind of view the cornerback group going into Saturday, and who do you envision starting, or do you think it'll be kind of a rotation like last week?
Yeah, we've kind of rotated that position all year long. And, I think the guys that have been playing will just rotate them through. It's nice to have Dante back, and he played an entire game. So, I think you'll see Dante play a lot of snaps as long as he stays healthy. And then, we'll rotate the other guys. But that's kind of how we've done it by committee, and we'll continue to do that.
Hey, Phil, Stacey Dales with NFL Network. When a quarterback is in rhythm, the way we're seeing with Aaron Rodgers, I mean, maybe the best year he's ever had as far as his efficiency. What are your talking points with your defense? I mean, how does that affect your game plan?
Well, with Aaron, if you don't get, it's hard to fool him with disguise. Obviously, he's done this so long, so you've got to get him off his mark by getting in the paint, we say, around his feet and moving him before he throws the football. Now, that's hard to do, too, with their offensive line. I mean, they don't give up many sacks or pressures. But, Aaron, it's really funny. You watch Aaron play, and the game seems so slow to him right now. He looks like he's playing in a park in the National Football League with these big, fast guys chasing him, which is really atypical. I mean, it's fun to watch him play quarterback, to be honest with you.
Thanks, Coach.
You bet.
Let's go to Joe Person for the next question.
Hey, Phil, good to see you. We've asked you a lot about Jeremy Chin seemingly every week. Has there been anything this year that you kind of thought about doing? He's done a lot in a lot of different positions. Has there been anything you tried that didn't work in terms of a fit with him?
No, first of all, he's really bright and he's really athletic. So if he doesn't do something well right away, it's because he has not done it before. But once he gets a feel for it, he can do physically, just about anything you ask him to do. And sometimes that's a curse too, because he relies on how fast he is and stuff. And so, but all the rookies, the details of what they're doing is something that, we have to stay on them. There's such a small margin of error in the National Football League because of the quarterback position, in the passing game and the runners and the offensive line, how precise they are. So, that's what you fight with the rookie but Jeremy physically can do a lot of things for you.
Did you ever see him in person in the pre-draft process, or was the first time you saw him when he showed up in August?
No, I believe he played in one of the All-Star games. Did he not?
Senior Bowl.
Yeah. This has been, yeah. So I watched him in the Senior Bowl. Yes, I did.
And then of all the things he does, what do you think is sort of the one trait that sets him apart from others?
Well, I think what's unique about him is he has the ability to play in space back in the secondary, and then also drop down into the box and play at a high level. So, it's hard. You got guys that are box guys that don't play well back there, deeper. I think, that's the rare quality that he has, is that he can play back and he's good in the box too. So, he's going to be fun to watch here at Carolina as we go forward.
Let's go to Jonathan Alexander for the next question, followed by Vashti Hurt.
Hey, Phil, I hope you're doing well.
Yep.
I know you said that, you have been rotating the cornerbacks a lot throughout the year, but Rasul has been a constant for most of this year up until probably last week. He seemed to struggle a little bit in that game. What do you think from your observations, I guess, as he maybe had troubles with trying to improve?
It's really hard in this league to be consistent every week. And, he gave up, he got beat on a double move, and then, that fade. And so, at corner position, you can play, a lot of snaps real well and have a couple bad ones, and everybody thinks you played bad, right? And just the nature of the position. So he's fine. He's a pro. He'll come back and respond this week real well.
Coach, did you have a follow-up, Jonathan?
No, you can go, Vashti.
Okay, thanks. I know that a couple of games ago, third quarters were a point of emphasis for you guys. It seems like you have improved in that area. Also, it just seems like this defense is playing better. With such a young group, have you noticed improvement as the season has progressed?
Yeah, I have. We have starting to play better, but we have moments where we don't. I thought we'd been playing the third quarter real well, and then this past game we didn't. We played the fourth quarter decently. We had one play that we shouldn't have happened, but we are starting to put together better quarters and halves. And one of the things we have to do is win third down. Third down has been our Achilles heel. And if we do that and get off the field when we're supposed to, we get some momentum and we start to play the way we're supposed to. So, but you can even see the enthusiasm, how they run on the field and take the field on defense over the last month. So, that's exciting to see, and I hope it continues Saturday night.
You talk about third downs. Is that something that you practice, or is that just something that comes with game experience?
It's a combination of a lot of things, but yeah, you have to practice. And we've spent a lot of time with it. And really, it's the money down. For every position, if you want to get new contracts and make a lot of money and all that, you have to win. If you're big on third down, you intercept the ball as a DB, you sack the passer as a pass rusher, linebackers, both sacks and interceptions. And so that's what and with a young group, sometimes they don't quite understand that. And I think they're starting to as this season has progressed. And so we're getting better. It's just not good enough yet. We all know it, and we're continuing to work on it.
All right, guys, we have time for one or two more questions if there are any left.
Yeah. I'm wondering, Phil, are there any particular position groups that have been hurt more than others by the kind of lack of depth or injuries at all? Do you think?
Not really. It's just, in this league, we all go through the same thing, especially with the pandemic that we're going through. That's caused some people not to play, but the league, you're going to get injured. So it's really important to develop the people that are the twos and the practice squad, because they end up playing over a 16-game schedule. So it's just part of the game. And the next guy, he's got to, we coach them all the same. He's just got to step up and play.
All right, guys, got time for two more. So let's go to David Newton and then finish with Mike Solarte.
Hey, Phil, not sure we're going to get to talk to you next week with Christmas coming up. So early happy Christmas to you. But wanted to ask you with Ron Rivera facing them next week, have you ever studied Ron's defenses that much or since he's been a defensive specialist throughout the years, and what have you learned from watching him?
Well, I went to Cal Berkeley in 1987. And he had just got done playing linebacker there, and they were just an unbelievable group on defense at Cal, which, they hadn't had a lot of really good defenses. And then he actually went in the private world, private business, and then he came back and started coaching. So I've always followed Ron, really respected him as a person, and really bright. Every defense he's run, the players played really hard for him, and structurally they're really know what they're doing and have really good schemes. So I've always respected him and watched his defenses.
Thanks. You may be one of the few guys that can say they actually saw Ron play.
Yeah. And he was a hell of a player in college now.
Thanks.
Yep.
Coach, I'm actually also one of the people that saw Ron play when he was in Chicago, but so that's dating myself as well. And I got in late, so I apologize if you've already answered this, but as a coach, you've been around to so many different places in your career. Is there a mystique about going to Lambeau, or as a coach, do you just kind of say, we got a game to play and the setting is
I think for the younger people, it's just a setting. I don't think that the mystique and all that, but for me, as old as I am, every time I go to Lambeau, it's been, because I was with the Lions, so we played them every year at Lambeau. So it's a unique and just, a dream come true as a young kid. I used to watch all those Green Bay Packers games and then to go there and be on the field with, who's been on that field is, for me, really unique. I think for, the younger people today, I'm not sure history is as important as, it once was. But I think it's really a great place to go coach.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. Coach Snow, we appreciate you taking the time.
You bet. Thank you, guys. Merry